Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So I've got a baptism today. I've got my dress on and I'm gonna get ready for this special occasion, this special day. I am the godmother, so I want to do something that is like a little bit special and glowy, but not too over the top, since I will be sort of in the limelight, let's say, for this occasion. In addition, I wanted to share some life updates. So if you're interested to know what's going on in my life and how my life is going to be changing in these next couple of months, then stay tuned. Okay guys, so I've got a mirror over here. I do apologize. I'll probably sort of be looking in here and into my mirror and switching between the two. So, first things first, I'm gonna get my beauty blender. This is just a fake one. It's a little discolored. I just washed it last night though, so it's not dirty. I usually start with my eyeshadow when I get ready. I don't know why, I am just like that. Some people do their base, some people do their shadow. I'm a shadow girl. So I'm gonna start off by using this soft eyeshadow base from the brand Bell Hypoallergenic. This is a very inexpensive drugstore Polish brand. I believe it's Polish. It's sort of the type of makeup that, you know, your grandma used to wear, kind of a thing. I think that's kind of the running joke here in Poland, but it's very inexpensive. Most of their products are fragrance free, which is why I like them. They're hypoallergenic, and I need an eyeshadow base because my eyelids tend to get pretty oily. Also guys, a couple of nights ago, I used for the first time tretinoin 0.1. I usually use 0.05. The peeling of my skin this morning, I basically had to do like this to get skin off. It's pretty bad. So I'm just warning you, if you are bumping up your tretinoin, be careful and go slow. As you can see, like around my nose is feeling pretty raw right now. So just be careful. Okay, so I want to do something sparkly probably, or like shimmery and light, but also something special. So I'm gonna use my trusty Stila palette as usual. This is my favorite eyeshadow palette. I'll show you in a second. Yeah, I've hit pan on every single color. But I am gonna use this middle one here, which is like a pinky shimmer, because it's just very romantic and pretty, right? And I don't want to do anything too heavy for a baptism. So I'm gonna grab this on like a shader brush and just pop it on all over my lid. Very haphazardly. I typically do my shimmer shadow, you know, just sort of throwing it on, because then I'm gonna blend things out anyways. But I love this eyeshadow palette. If it's still in stock, I highly recommend, if they still make this, I recommend getting it, because every single shadow in this palette is a shadow I would use. Like there is no, sometimes there's like a black or a dark something, or like one super purple shadow, and it's like I will probably use most of the colors except for that one. This palette, literally, I will use every single one, which makes it so functional for me, and it makes me want to reach for it. Okay, so next I'm gonna take this sort of, I think this is a goat-haired brush. This is very nice, this type of brush for blending things out really quickly. I'm gonna go into this matte shade right here. I'm gonna grab that here on my brush, tap it off a little, and I'm just gonna buff it out into the outer corners. And this is gonna add a little bit more depth without going overboard, as you can see. So I'm just gonna grab a bit more and go here in the outer corner. Okay, and again, it's still very messy because the next step is blending, right? So I'm gonna take a blending brush Here is my trusty, I think this was an e.l.f. if I'm not mistaken. It's just a blending crease brush. And I'm gonna go into this shade right here, which is a blending shade. Like a very light taupe type of shade. And I'm gonna buff out the edges until everything is seamless. So there's no limit on this, right? I just keep going until I feel things are blended and seamless. Okay guys, so here is my Bake Life update. And that is that I'm moving. I am moving in 2 weeks. I am leaving Krakow and I am sad but excited about it. So my boyfriend lives in the UK. And I am moving there to be closer to him. We've been doing long distance for 3 years now. It's been hard, but we've made it work because we both work from home. So we're able to come and see each other for extended periods of time. This is a very, very hard decision for me in the sense that I love Krakow. I love it. In fact, I have my place here. I own this flat. I'm in my office right now. I love everything the city has to offer. It has something for everyone. It's the perfect size. It's not too big. It's not too small. There's festivals. You've got the beautiful river. You've got the castle. You've got the town center. You've got the Jewish quarter, which is super cool. It's in close proximity to mountains. You can go hiking. You know, there's just so much to do in this part of Poland. And it's just pretty. Like, it is just such a pretty place. I think in the past couple of years, it's become a little bit overpopulated and there's definitely too many cars for the infrastructure of the city. So there's really bad traffic. And because you know, lots of people want to move here, it's kind of driven the prices up as well. I mean, also inflation and interest rates and things like that, right, have an impact on that. But for the most part, it's still such an amazing place to be. And it just makes me sad, right? It makes me sad to leave that, but I'm also excited for the next steps in my life and my future with my boyfriend. So it's pretty bittersweet, I would say. I'm gonna put my mascara on. That's my eyeshadow look done. So I'm gonna use my favorite holy grail, repurchased over and over and over and over and over throughout like the last 10 years of my life at least, is the Maybelline The Colossal in black. Okay guys, I'm back. That's my mascara. I didn't want to bore you with that. Okay. So next I'm gonna work on my base. So let me just get my hair out of the way a little bit. I'm gonna use my Shiseido Syncro Skin Radiant Lifting Foundation. It's a little bit dark for me, so I have a foundation lightener from HEAN. I'm gonna mix these two together and use my beauty sponge to blend that in my face. I'm gonna do one pump. This is a very nice foundation. Wouldn't say it's my favorite ever. I purchased it because Jessica Braun talked about it on YouTube and she said it was one of her holy grails. I think it's okay. It's not my holy grail foundation by any means, but it is very pretty. And that's what I'm gonna use. So I just mix that on the back of my hand and I'm gonna dot that out. I did put a little bit more than I would regularly use on a daily basis because I have a special event. I may be touching up some places and sort of going over it twice. So I'm gonna blend this out with my sponge. So anyways, as I was saying, I am moving to the UK. I've obviously spent a lot of time there, so I know what I'm getting into. I know the different areas of London, where I'm moving to the London area, not into central London itself, but to the suburbs of London. So I sort of have explored the area. I sort of know the people, the mentality, and things like that. And I did get a job transfer there for my job, which is great. But still bittersweet, you know. I've spent 6 years of my life here in Krakow. So I feel like I did a lot of growing here, and I went through good times and bad, very hard times and very joyous times. And really the thing that gives me peace is that it's such a short flight away. It's a 2-hour flight, sometimes 2.5 hours, depending which airport you're flying from London to Krakow. So I know I can be coming here still, you know, throughout the year for holidays, vacations, long weekends, and things like that. So that gives me like a little bit of a soft landing, you know, moving country again from a place that I genuinely loved. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in with concealer. I've got the Shiseido, and I'm gonna use these two together. Again, Jessica Braun swears by this concealer, and that's why I bought it, because basically anything Jessica likes, I feel like I like it too, for the most part. Sometimes with base products, we have a bit of a different opinion on things. At first, I didn't like this concealer at all, and then eventually I think it grew on me, and I learned different ways to make it work. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop it on here. I do have, let me zoom in here, a bit of a spot here, so I'm gonna conceal that as well. Just add a little bit of coverage. And then use my beauty sponge to blend out the concealer. I didn't sleep very well for some reason last night. I was on my computer for a long time researching different things because I'm also going to Chicago for 5 weeks this summer to visit my parents who live there. Just put a little bit more right here because I feel, yeah, like I have some bags to conceal today. So I was just researching, you know, some day trips and things that I could do with my mom and my aunt who will be there at the same time, and it just kept me up. I am also going to put a little bit of concealer here on my nose, just a tiny bit, because like I mentioned, I used the Retin-A, the tretinoin 0.1%, and I felt like the skin around my nose feels a bit red and looks a bit red. So I'm just gonna add a little tiny bit of extra coverage there, but I still want my skin to look natural as usual. That is what I typically go for. Okay, I think that looks really pretty. Next, I'm going to powder. This is from Eveline Cosmetics. It's their Wonder Match Loose Powder Bamboo. It's a mattifying powder, but it works really well. I had very good reviews online, that's why I bought it. And again, it was very inexpensive. I think I paid 20 zloty, so I don't know, maybe like $5, $5 US. And I'm going to press that into my under eye. Both of them. And then in my T-zone, where I typically get oily, and here onto my cheeks. It is white, and it kind of looks white to begin with, but you know, as my skin produces oils, etc., etc., it starts to, the white cast will blend away. Okay, next I'm going to do bronzer. This is one of my favorite bronzers. It's from the brand HEAN, so the same brand that I have the foundation brightener shade. I don't know what it is about this. It's got these like little granules in it, which in the beginning turned me off from this bronzer, but the color for my skin tone is perfect. It's almost like a powder for deeper skin tones, but it's not. It's a bronzer. And it just, it never looks patchy. It always looks so good on my face. I love this, and it's so inexpensive. It's so cheap. So if you live in Europe and you have access to the brand HEAN, HEIN, there, maybe you can see it. I recommend this. It's got the cheapy plastic packaging that doesn't really stay well, but the product is so good. So I use a big fluffy brush. This one is from Real Techniques. I just put a little bit in there. And it does have some kickback, but again, it just looks so good on the skin. So I put it here on my forehead, like that. You see? It just looks so natural, and it just never patchy, never ever patchy. I have a hard time finding bronzers. I find that a lot of them are patchy. Like, for example, the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer for me was patchy city. Like, my forehead looked really bad. But with this one, never. Okay, I'm just gonna put it there. See, it just looks so natural. I like to put a little bit on my nose because I think it looks cute. And a little bit here on my chin. I think that looks kind of cute too. It kind of looks like the sun kissed me in those areas. Right, so next for blush, I'm going to use this one from Wet n Wild. It's very, very pretty shade. Again, very good for, I would say all skin tones, but if you have a pale skin tone, it's very nice as well because it's not too overpowering of a blush. This is in the color Nudist Society. Okay, I'm just gonna take this brush from Real Techniques and apply this to my cheekbones. So those are my life updates. I'm leaving Krakow in 2 weeks. Although I'm still gonna have my flat, and I'm just soaking it in. I am walking everywhere, walking around. Like yesterday I walked like for 3 hours in the town center, just weaving in and out, going to my favorite streets and my favorite little corners and places of Krakow, and, you know, experiencing them sort of for the last time as a full-time resident of Krakow. Obviously I will, like I said, be coming back here, but it won't be the same, you know what I mean? So, alright guys, next for eyeliner, I have this very little one from Kiko Milano, but it's actually very good because it's super creamy. So I'm gonna use this one and just do a very, very light wing. So I do a wing not on the entire band of my eye, and that's because one of my eyes has a hooded eyelid and the other doesn't. So when I do the an entire band of eyeliner, it looks bad on this eye because of the hooded eyelid. So I just do like in the outer corners, just a little flick to give a bit of dimension, and I feel it makes the eyes look bigger. You see? It just opens them up, makes them look bigger. And I'm not gonna do anything on the lower lash line for black, in terms of black liner, but I am gonna put a bit of white liner because, like I said, I didn't get much sleep last night. So I just want to sort of erase any redness that I may have there. This one is from Rimmel, and I'm almost out, but it's very, very good as well. Next, I'm gonna put a bit of mascara on my lower lashes. Now, I typically have one mascara, like a fresh one that I use for my upper lashes, but I find it's too much for my lower lashes. It gets messy, it gets overpowering. So typically the mascara I had before, my current one, I just keep it and I use it for my bottom lashes. It has just enough product left to coat those tiny little hairs and add a bit of dimension. So I've got this one from Maybelline as well. It's the Big Shot, the Colossal Big Shot. So it just has a tiny bit of product left on it, and it adds just the right amount that I want without looking spidery or overpowering. That's my little trick for you guys. You see? Just adds a little, tiny little something. Okay, I'm gonna go in with highlighter. I've got this one from Physicians Formula. It's their butter highlighter. This is sort of a cream highlighter, so I'm just gonna take it with my hands like this and pop it here on my cheekbones, just a little bit. again, just to have some glowy, dewy skin. I'm gonna add a bit here to my brow bone, a little bit in my inner corner. There you go. And just a tiny bit here on my upper lip, just to look glowy, whatever I have left on my nose, but I don't want to put too much on my nose because I don't want my nose to be shining in pictures and things like that. Okay, so for lips, I'm going to keep things rather simple and natural. So I'm gonna do a bit of lip liner and just a gloss, and that's gonna be it. Again, this is a church event, so I'm just gonna put a little bit of this liner kind of all over. Fill in my lips with that. Then I'm gonna put on this lip gloss from Bare Minerals. It's their Marvelous Moxie, and it's a very light, very pretty lip gloss, and it's going to sort of downplay a bit and make more natural the lip liner I put underneath. Okay guys, and that is my finished look for the baptism. I've got this long dress on, long sleeve, and it's very long type of dress, but I think it's very cute and very pretty and summery as well with the flowers. I've got these little earrings, just little like balls, and they've got some pearls and some green, and then this fresh makeup look that I think looks very pretty, very sort of glowy eyes, you know, nice natural skin. And that's it, guys. That's my look. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you liked hearing about my life updates. Let me know if you would like to see some videos about either my move or my first days in the UK, living there permanently. I'm happy to film something like that. I would really, really appreciate if you subscribe to my channel. That way I know that you want to see more videos, and I'll make sure to set some time aside from, you know, my regular 9-to-5 job to film and edit. I really love and appreciate you all. Have a beautiful day, and I'll see you in my next video soon. Bye.